It's been nearly 30 years since the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air flip-turned the world of sitcoms upside down. While Will Smith has since adopted a wide range of roles, he might have gotten some good training in drama on the set of this hit TV show. Here are the dark secrets of the cast of Fresh Prince. Will Smith was not chilling out, maxing, relaxing all cool when he signed on to star in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He was staring down some pretty serious IRS debt from his career as a rapper alongside DJ Jazzy Jeff. In a 2018 episode of YouTube Storytime, Smith admitted that he'd spent all of his money on exorbitant purchases like expensive cars and fancy clothes after the duo's album, He's the DJ, I'm the Rapper, went triple platinum and earned a Grammy. But his follow-up effort flopped, which didn't really help bolster his dwindling bank account.
I spent all my money, and I didn't forget, but I didn't pay the IRS.
At the time, Smith owed the IRS a whopping $2.8 million. Opportunity fell into Smith's lap when he met Fresh Prince producer Benny Medina while hanging out on the set of the Arsenio Hall show, and later had an impromptu audition during a party at Quincy Jones's house. Smith landed the lead, but the IRS took 70% of his Fresh Prince paycheck for the next 3 years. Aunt Vivian, who served as the Fresh Prince's beloved sympathetic matriarch, is a woman with many facets. 2, to be exact. Janet Hubert played the role during the sitcom's first 3 seasons, but was fired in 1993 and replaced by Daphne Maxwell Reid. The firing apparently had less to do with Hubert's rumoured on-set feuds and more to do with a dispute with network executives, who reportedly had, quote, some sort of vendetta against her, per Hubert's interview with Jet at the time. Years later, in 2013, the actress opened up to The Grio about the real reason she was recast, claiming NBC was unwilling to negotiate her ultra-restrictive contract. She said, "It was a negotiation that should have come back like most do. We were a very successful show and I felt like I was an integral part of that and felt valuable, but you cannot feel valuable in Hollywood." Hubert sued the network and Will Smith for allegedly creating a hostile work environment during her pregnancy, according to the New York Daily News. This led to long-running rumors that NBC fired Hubert because of her pregnancy, but it was written into her final season with the show.
Vivian!
Janet Hubert's feud with Will Smith is so intense that it outlived the series by literal decades. Hubert blamed her 1993 contract dispute on Smith, telling Jet, "Smith probably is responsible for my firing. He has a lot of clout. He has gotten me fired from the show, and now he is trying to snatch my career away from me." In an earlier interview with an Atlanta radio station, Smith said that Hubert wanted the series to be the Aunt Viv of Bel-Air show. He added, "No matter what, to her, I'm just the Antichrist." In addition to calling Smith an egomaniac nearly 2 decades later, Hubert said in 2009 that both Smith and Alfonso Ribeiro, who played Carlton Banks, destroyed her career with untruths, presumably about her bad attitude. She even reportedly begged Smith and his manager to clear her name. While the jury is still out on that, Smith did call Hubert brilliant and a really powerful artist in an interview with BBC Radio 1 Extra in 2016. Janet Hubert undoubtedly had her issues with Will Smith, but she might actually have more beef with her on-screen son, and for pretty good reason. Alfonso Ribeiro, who went from dancing as Carlton Banks to literally winning Dancing with the Stars in 2014, went after his TV mom with a scathing comedy set in 2009. In a since-deleted video of the stand-up performance unearthed by Perez Hilton, Ribeiro claimed Hubert was crazy and went nuts during her time on Fresh Prince. Even though he admitted he wasn't legally, quote, allowed to talk about it, the actor dished, "There were days when we were all on the set and she would literally go off on people, and they got to a point by the time the second season came around where we're like, this is unacceptable. We felt like when we were doing The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air that we were a family. She, at that point, ruined that, and she made it very difficult for us to work." This may have been what led to Hubert's claims about Smith and Ribeiro's untruths. Considering the show aired during an era before text message receipts and cell phone cameras, we'll probably never know the exact truth of the matter.
You hate me, don't you?
Carlton was one of the Fresh Prince's most iconic characters, and he certainly wouldn't have had the same magic if he was portrayed by anyone other than Ribeiro. But that was almost exactly what happened. Ribeiro was actually fired before he really got started. In an interview with Digital Spy in 2017, the actor admitted that he landed the role after an audition, but after filming the pilot, producers decided that Carlton should be recast. It's almost inconceivable, but they did eventually come to their senses. Ribeiro said, "There was a moment where essentially I was hired and rehired. You may look at it that way. There was a large chance that the Carlton character would have been played by somebody else, but luckily enough, the decision was made to continue to have me do it. And I guess the rest is history." History indeed. It takes someone very special to pull off those colourful outfits. Long before Donald Trump was tweeting from the White House, he enjoyed the most bizarrely random acting career with cameos in dozens of major motion pictures and TV shows, including Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, and The Nanny. One of these appearances was actually on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but the future president reportedly wreaked minor havoc on the set. Trump appeared in the 1994 episode For Sale by Owner, and according to an anonymous crew member who spoke to Newsweek, the businessman was apparently pretty peeved about something that probably had to do with the script. Earlier that day, he'd reportedly expressed concern to executive producer Gary H. Miller that his lines weren't funny enough. Miller claimed he'd never give Trump advice about real estate, but he does know comedy and told him, quote, "Trust me, you'll get a laugh."
I like keeping a low profile.
Later, the real estate mogul allegedly ended up throwing the clipped-together pages of his script all over the floor. The anonymous crew member told Newsweek, "I started to help her pick them up, and Maples goes, 'I got 'em. I got them. I'm so sorry. It was such a really rude thing, the way he did it. So terrible, so disrespectful. He just wasn't pleasant." According to Business Insider, Alfonso Ribeiro sued the creators of Fortnite for allegedly copying his Carlton dance in 2018. The lawsuit claimed the dance was written into an emote called Fresh in January of that year. The emote could be purchased for around $8 or 800 V-Bucks, which meant Epic Games seemed to be making money from the actor's moves. That is, if Ribeiro actually owned them to begin with. A side-by-side comparison does show the dance moves to be nearly identical. However, according to The Hollywood Reporter, a supervisory registration specialist in the US Copyright Office's Performing Arts Division later explained that Ribeiro's copyright request must be refused because his choreography was just a simple dance routine. Even so, since the dance was created for Fresh Prince, it's likely that NBC would own any related copyright if it was indeed allowed to be copyrighted. All of this boded poorly for Ribeiro's case, as well as the similar lawsuit he lobbed at Take-Two Interactive over dance moves featured in NBA 2K. According to USA Today, the actor dropped both suits in March 2019. There's a reason Will Smith was able to pull out a tear-jerking performance in the Season 4 episode Papa's Got a Brand New Excuse.
How come you don't want me, man?
He felt intimately acquainted with disappointing father figures. While it appeared he patched things up with his dad later in life, at least according to an interview on The Graham Norton Show in 2019, the star revealed that his troubled past with an abusive father had led him and his wife to set some major boundaries, including avoiding the use of profanities with each other for over 20 years. In an episode of Jada Pinkett Smith's Facebook Watch series Red Table Talk, Will Smith recalled telling his wife,
I grew up in a household where I watched my father punch my mother in the face.
Because of that, he said, he couldn't tolerate profanity and violence in his relationships. Tatiana Ali, who played Ashley Banks, had one of her most embarrassing moments, a major life milestone on set. In an interview with Us Weekly in 2018, Ali admitted she had her first real kiss on the show, but said it was, quote, terrifying. It didn't help that both Alfonso Ribeiro and Karen Parsons, her on-screen siblings, decided to come to set that day to watch it happen, even though they had nothing to do with that particular scene. Ali told the magazine, I just remember Karen Parsons, who played Hilary Banks, Karen, Alfonso, and we had our cameras. The cameras on sitcoms are like huge cameras, and I just remember them looking behind the camera. I mean, who has a first kiss like that? At the time, I wanted to die. Since then, Ali has managed to recover and seems to have a healthy attitude about romance. The actress even told HuffPost in 2013 that one-night stands were her guilty pleasure. Who would ever want to watch a sitcom starring a rapper? That's what Karen Parsons was thinking when she first heard about Fresh Prince. While speaking with NPR in 2014, the actress revealed that she'd been working as a restaurant hostess in Hollywood before landing the sitcom role, which she seriously questioned taking or even trying out for. Parsons said of her first audition, "I remember my first reactions being, oh god, it's a sitcom with a rapper? Like, what's that?" Regardless of her initial feelings about the show itself, she also felt like she wasn't a good fit for Hillary. The character was originally an effortlessly cool model, which made the TV star feel like trying out was ridiculous because she's, quote, not a model type. Instead of playing the role as it was written, however, Parsons gave Hillary her signature bratty attitude, which is exactly what landed her the part. But she continued to work at her day job until Fresh Prince took off, just to be safe. For years, rumors have been flying around claiming that the recurring scene in which Will's friend Jazz gets kicked out of the Banks' mansion was actually only shot once because the network wanted to save money. In truth, it was shot multiple times, just not every time the script called for it. Jeffrey A. Towns, aka DJ Jazzy Jeff, opened up about this myth surrounding Fresh Prince in an interview with HuffPost in 2015. According to the actor/DJ, budget had nothing to do with the shot. Rather, Towns eventually put his foot down because he couldn't endure the pain it caused. "When I did it maybe the third or fourth time, because every time you shoot it to get a take, you probably have to do it about 40 times. Literally black and blue by the time they say, 'We got it.' And it got so bad the last time, and I was like, I can't do this. I'm not a stuntman. I can't do it." Jeff has stayed safely behind the turntables ever since the show ended. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Nicki Swift videos about your favorite shows are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.